Hello everyone and welcome back to The Last of Us Season 2 Episode 3. Last episode, I don't even need to say what happened last episode. You all watched it, and if you didn't, the fuck are you watching this video for? This video is to be watched after you've already seen Episode 3 of this season. So if you didn't see Episode 2 of this season, come on. But yeah, fucking insane. I knew it was coming, obviously, but seeing it is still very hard. So yeah, we're going to be pushing forward now. I was very curious how they would do last episode. I think they did it great. I think it was really well done. And I am now curious how they're going to do everything else, because this is a very ambitious game it's based on. And a lot of the game, you know, the ways that they do certain things in the story very much rely on you actively playing it, you know, you actually being a participant in what happens. So I'm curious, like, you know, they're definitely going to change things up. I don't know how though. It's not just this season, but next season as well. Like, I'm so curious. So, yeah, let's jump into it. Make sure to support the video if you can, liking, commenting, and subscribing, and go to my Patreon account if you want the full-length reactions, early access, and exclusive videos for both this channel and my Jent Watches One Piece channel. Let's jump into it. Last of Us Season 2, Episode 3. Corpses. Oh, this song. The watch. Man, the lighting and everything right now. It's very uncomfortable. Oh man, Tommy. This is his first time seeing it. I'm sure he was told about it, but oh, this poor man.
Give Cher my love.
Oh. Fuck, I love Tommy, man. Jesus. Whew.
In pain?
I mean, yeah, like she
Give you something.
wouldn't really be sure like what's real. Oh. Oh my god. Oh god, that's haunting, honestly. That was a really good performance. That's a fucking haunting scream. Whew. 3 months later, honestly, kind of a needed time jump, I think. It's hard to watch the times immediately after something like that. Damn, Jesse is jacked, man. I'm shocked how well they cast Jesse.
And how would you rate your pain? Scale of 1 to 10.
Nothing. 0.
0.
Physical pain, at
That's
least.
much more than that.
Who's this handsome doctor?
Okay, one last PFT.
Paul F. Tompkins?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
How are you doing?
You gotta
Fine.
do a...
If you say
Gotta
that,
check
that's
your
as
mental.
long as you're not.
It's really complicated because, you know, feelings.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I miss him. He meant a lot to me. So, yeah, upset and sad.
Of course. In my last moment with Joel, he said he wronged you. Maybe bad.
And also that he saved her.
He said, I saved her.
He saved me a lot of times.
Yeah, I would think so, but that's not wronging someone.
He knows that
Weird.
saving her was wrong, quote
No
unquote.
idea what he meant. Man, I wish I could have let him off the hook for whatever it was he was talking about.
So
I
insincere.
guess I'll have to let myself off the hook for that.
Everyone were as healthy as you. What would I do for weed and booze?
I wouldn't worry, Gail. There's still a lot of fucked up people.
But not you, though.
That was the first like Catherine O'Hara delivery I've heard. Like, That was like a lot of her characters. Not you though. On the flowers. Lots of flowers. Joel, thank you for... I mean, why write it in cursive, you stupid idiot? The watch is right there. And his gun. Jesus. This is what really hits her. Oh. I mean, the amount of times he probably like pulled her in for a hug and her face was like in that jacket, you know? Such a simple comfort.
Ellie?
Oh. Wow.
Yeah, I'm coming.
Jeez, I wonder what Bella Ramsey's like, if she's doing any memory acting, like going off of an actual experience she had, because she's like summoning that pain.
It's okay. You would have done the same for me.
Yeah, maybe not as often.
Because I'm about to make you angry.
Uh-oh.
I told you I didn't learn anything useful.
But she saw the WLF on the jackets.
And I knew that if I told you where they were, you'd just start pulling your tubes out and crawling on your hands and knees to get them.
I don't give a fuck.
If you want to find someone, and the only thing you know about them is where they're going to end up, maybe let them get there.
Yeah, wait till they get there and then you can find them. Don't give them a warning before they get there.
I loved him too, you know.
She spent a lot of time with him towards the end. Eat your damn cookies. What kind of cookies are they?
The girl with the dark hair and the bald one. One of them's named Nora. I'm not sure which.
The girl with the braid.
Abby.
Abby.
You didn't mention Mel yet. Does she not know Mel's
Where are
name?
they from?
And then I remembered a story Eugene told me from back when he was a Firefly. He said that there were these small regional groups in the West all trying to fight Fedra.
She's got a lot of
We
information.
didn't just join together. Just us. I wasn't going to tell anyone before you.
God, complicated feelings she's going through right now. Like the loyalty that Dina has, but also the betrayal of not telling her till now. And good. That was a peace offering back. Here you go. You can eat your own cookies.
So now what?
Well,
Right, they told Tommy.
So are you.
We get where you're coming
no,
from.
we don't get where you're coming from. I don't get where you're coming from. If it had been you, Joel would be halfway to Seattle before the sun came.
We'll just break him like it was his fault. I saw that time and time again, and don't talk to me like I didn't know him.
That's interesting,
brother.
actually. I don't know.
Everyone who wants to get heard gets heard.
You gotta
But you'll back
do all the
us.
politics.
Come on.
Oh. Oh.
You hold out information on me again.
No.
I'll be in jail for a month.
Buried our dead 10 miles south of town. If you want to visit them.
Yeah.
When we're on our way to Seattle.
Oh shit. I'm not gonna visit his grave until we agree that we're going to do this. Oh shit! Oh shit, we're doing this? Oh.
No one falling, all clear. Keep moving.
She knows the signals.
And that's how we keep her spirit.
Everyone
alive.
else is listening?
Follow her words, but we keep ourselves safe.
A huge fucking hammer on his belt.
Can I have a hammer?
All right,
Damn! Jesus!
tell me.
What does that one mean?
Take cover!
Oh shit! Man, the whistle signaling is so interesting. Being able to whistle that loud and that clearly. Aww.
Demons?
Wolves.
Oh, wolves, WLF.
Rotate. More. Now the right side.
Matrix poster in the
Just
background.
right side. Harder. Let's go. Last 5.
Damn, this is good training.
Pleasantly surprised.
Yeah?
Push-ups?
Yeah. Crunches when they weren't looking.
Oh my god.
So, heard you're on the council now.
Wow.
Yep. I know about the meeting coming up.
Can I count on you?
She's like having to gather votes. This is House of Cards all of a
Discuss
sudden.
upcoming votes. Gotta go.
Oh my god.
Ellie,
Jesse does things by the book, dude.
the count. Write them down and then read them out loud tomorrow.
Okay, yeah,
She's-
because I'm stupid.
'Cause you're angry.
Yeah, you're not super articulate when you're
Everyone's gonna
emotional.
vote for angry.
And less in chickens. And that brings me back to my earlier point about corn.
Oh god.
Corn, the fastest. You can plot a graph that shows ease and resources.
I mean, this is important
Time to
stuff to talk
harvest
about,
our
Scott.
life.
but
I'm sorry, but we gotta keep you on target here.
we got other important
It's an
things.
open meeting.
Stick to what everyone else came here to discuss.
I don't really have an opinion on the Seattle thing.
I only have opinion on
you.
corn.
So that was Scott. Next is Rachel.
So that was Scott. Oh my gosh, this is so realistic, this meeting.
Well, while they're gone, who's gonna be on the wall if raiders come? A wall that's barely mended. And none of you up there can promise us that all 16 will come back.
Or more
My
of
heart
the
is with you.
infected, like happened on that day.
Tell me.
Thank you, Rachel.
Pretty articulate, Rachel, honestly.
Next is Carlisle.
Is Seth gonna speak up for Ellie or something?
Well, because we're not supposed to.
Who's this awesome dude? Look at him.
Give, and I'm not even a Christian. I've always seen the wisdom in that.
This
That's
guy's got a
what
cool
separates
voice. I
us
think that's winning me
from the
over.
raiders, our capacity for mercy. Those sons of bitches don't deserve our mercy.
Here's where Ellie and Seth are gonna be on the same page.
Well, to hell with that. To hell with you for saying it, Carlisle.
Seth, sit down.
No.
You're not on the list.
No!
Oh my
What the hell
god.
are we all talking about here? What, we gotta forgive everybody when they show up and piss in our eyes? They came into our house. Somebody shoots your brother. You want to take the locks off your doors? Grow up,
Oh
you
shit.
idiots. And when they come back, they'll be laughing. And you'll all deserve it.
Oh my god, Seth.
Goddamn victims.
Jesus, what a speech. That's really interesting.
Ellie.
Did you write down your thoughts, Ellie? Did you listen to Jesse? Okay, good. Are you gonna stick to what you
I
wrote?
don't write things down. What I want is what you used to give people. I want justice.
When she was a
Because
lawyer.
it's either that, well, I don't think that we're strangers to each other. And I want to know that I can count on you. And I swear, if someone hurts any of you or the people you love, definitely not a wall, because that thing got busted through. But Jackson is still here.
Oh. Hey.
I'll accept whatever the council
clever.
decides, but do what it takes to see that justice is done. Not for me,
Pretty good.
not even for Joel. Please, do it for us.
That's actually really,
Thank you.
really well put. That's a good point. No, it's anonymous voting, right? Jeez.
Yes?
Okay, one yes.
No. No.
Okay, no's winning.
No.
No's winning.
No. No.
Jesus.
No.
Jesus. 3
The vote is 8 to
yeses?
3.
Oh god.
Proposal is rejected.
Adjourn.
Was the 3 all of Ellie's friends? Was it Maria, Tommy, and Jesse? Oh, look how pissed Seth is. I think I like Seth, kind of, now. I don't know, he said a slur. But, I mean, maybe he genuinely is learning from, you know, and growing as a person. So. Oh,
Shit.
you gotta dive later,
Know you were a
dude.
fan.
I had Tiger season tickets. She's not far off from the O3.
I don't know who she's referencing
Get them for Marshall.
because I don't follow baseball, but it's a funny joke regardless.
I thought to myself, she's probably been extra busy these last few weeks.
Lots of
Brutal.
people.
Process it all. I'm the only one here.
Yeah,
What
that's
are you
tough.
doing?
And I smoke as much weed as I can. You know, complete fucking disaster. What, you didn't believe her speech?
Did you?
Of course not. She's a liar. Was maybe one person she told the truth to, and he's...
Yeah. I don't
We
even
did agree to
know
disagree about
how
that.
much she told the truth to him, you know?
Coming up with justifications and such.
That's, yeah, yeah.
All he was really doing was lashing out.
Joel constantly
You think she might
justifies
have
shit.
learned that behavior from him? I think they were walking side by side from the very start.
I mean, yeah, she was pretty
I mean, I get
defiant
it.
before
inherited
Joel
her.
met her.
Anyone... Some people just can't be saved.
Damn. That's a sad thing for a therapist to say. Maybe it's true, I don't know, but it's sad nonetheless. You gonna hide all your shit?
I'm just going to bed.
No, I don't think that is where you're going.
Are you alone?
I'm alone.
It's the only person you can trust with it, probably.
Northwest? And is that all guns? Or do you have medical supplies in there? No?
I don't think she's taking into account the idea
Well,
that she'd get hurt.
Better not land. Stay off the highways, stay clear of cities or settlements.
Dina's
First
thought this
stage is
out.
through the nation, then break off through the Snoqualmie Pass.
Snoqualmie.
Yeah, right. Now, handguns. What are you bringing?
Really well thought out.
Fucking right.
And save it for that. It's slow and kicks like hell.
Yeah, it's not a great
Really?
gun to have generally.
Shoot you.
Heard that before.
Well, one at least. Yeah, we share a horse. Fewer resources.
Smart.
Everything else is what you'd fit. Boots.
Oh yeah.
Converse. Respect your consistency.
But it's not.
But you're not crossing open country in fucking chucks.
Yeah.
I've done it before. Oh no. No, don't tell me you told Jesse, please.
Captain Wyoming? No. I love the man, but he's a little uptight about rules.
Yeah, he does things the right
Wear all the
way.
clothes you're gonna bring. Meet by the old East Gate, 3 a.m. 3 a.m.
Damn, man, she came in and took command of the entire thing.
No, I actually didn't know that.
Now you do.
I love Dina. Her expressions are so good. Easy to fall in love with that woman. Oh, Seth. Is he the contact? Because he wants you to go.
Trade. It's better. Trade. Janine's night watch at the stables. She's sympathetic to our cause.
Our cause?
Damn.
You're
Yeah.
the one who gave the us speech, not me.
I mean, you heard Seth there
Saddlebags are filled with stuff I had squirreled
at the
away.
meeting.
Alcohol, meds, batteries.
And
I'd
Seth's...
come with you, but I caught some friendly fire on New Year's Day.
Sure it's friendly.
Jesus Christ.
Seth's
You got 10
a
minutes
chef as
before
well,
the car
right?
comes
So
by.
you could have provided food and stuff.
Let's get you going.
This is... I like what they've done with Seth. Aww. I mean, Ellie is within her rights to be pissed at him. But someone being genuinely remorseful for their behavior is something I like to see. And making up for it and changing. Not falling back into those old ways. Going to see Joel. Yep, there he is. Beloved brother and father. Oh. He'd be very proud to have father on his tombstone. put coffee beans. He loves coffee. And those beans are probably worth their weight in gold right now.
Okay, so F. Fleetwood Mac. Nope.
Fleetwood Mac.
I mean, no, it's my opinion.
Yeah, well, your opinion is wrong because Frank.
What? Oh, the best musician with that letter?
Okay, so Green Day.
No, you're wrong. P. Are you seriously gonna make me do the entire alphabet?
What else are you gonna do?
Have to. I'm incredibly flexible. Let me see a new topic.
Or silence.
Got one. Last person you kill.
It was a little before Joel and I got to Jackson.
It's the first one, her
Kansas
mother?
City. He
Is
got
that
jumped
what she
by
was
this
thinking?
kid. I shoot a guy and he feels sorry for me.
I'm just loyal like that.
Why? Looks okay.
I love Dina's face. No, it's weird to say, but like, other than her just being a good-looking woman,
Shit,
she
that came
also,
out fast. How the fuck did you know that was gonna happen?
I just love the way she
Clearly.
expresses while she's speaking. Maybe she should cuddle up for warmth.
Okay, but I have a stupid question. You know, the kid. Girls before. You're gay, I'm not.
I
I'm just
mean,
curious.
I think you're a little gay.
1 to 10.
Okay, fine, 6.
Fuck you, 6.
That's not bad. That sucks.
Now she's gonna be pissed all night.
Back to Jesse.
I already did.
Well, there you have it.
Does it ever strike you as sad?
Jesse?
Has he ever told you why?
No.
Maybe because people are mean to him all the time for doing the right
I
thing.
think deep inside that's just how he. Well, because if it's not that, then it's me.
Aww.
Right.
It's a sad thing to talk about before bed. Do you want to maybe get all of those feelings out there before you sleep?
It wasn't that high.
Maybe she is a little more gay than she lets on.
He was running away.
What's that symbol?
I don't know. I've never seen it before. Dina. Dina.
Oh, that's scary. Oh. Yeah, I vomited. Go look at it. So you can vomit too. Oh, God. Oh, God. It's the father and daughter we saw. Constance? I believe the girl's name was. She had the hammer, didn't protect her.
Yeah. Let's go.
Damn, man. She's like very dazed, you can tell. Like Ellie takes it in as anger and Dina's like just in shock. Man, the swaying of those trees are so thin.
Yeah. Too quiet.
Curtis or Viper?
Both. No, for me.
They say it all the time.
9 more miles.
I was thinking it was a very action movie line.
Wow. Fucking Seattle. Pretty.
So cool, man. I love the Last of Us
Awesome,
landscapes.
There's about to be a whole lot less.
Curtis or Viper?
What? No. You don't need to try.
Aw. What are we panning to? Are we panning to something? No? Okay.
Manny.
Oh, this is Manny.
3 and 5.
Uh-oh.
Watch it. Fucking 3 and 5.
Oh, Ellie and Dina at 3 and 5? Between 3 and 5?
Just give me a fucking second. Jesus.
Say it into the thing so that they know.
You're all good. We can move up.
Okay, maybe you didn't see him. What's the sound? Oh, it's a tank? Or an an armored truck at least. Jeez, man. Damn. Well, there are a decent amount of wolves at least. Can't say there's only a few. Jeez. Alright. Very nice. A good episode. There was some stuff that I really liked. Like as a person who's played the games, like there's some things in there that were very different that I really enjoyed. I think my favorite scene of the season so far is the town hall scene where they're having the meeting about whether or not to go, right? Like completely an original scene, not in the games at all. And like I really liked, like, I mean, the idea of the scene is solid, you know. It's a good way to show that like other people aren't fully on board with it, and to show the reasons why, which are like very legitimate reasons, right? Like I think Ellie gave a good speech. Like her speech made sense. Her speech was well thought out. It was a decent argument. But I was sitting there like going, wow, that's a good argument. But also it takes a lot to change people's minds. It takes a hell of a lot, right? And for the most part, people are going to come to that council meeting having made up their minds. The only people that you're actually able to convince with a speech like that is the people who were like really on the fence, but they wanted to be on your side, but they couldn't find the justification for it, you know? Like someone like we didn't get confirmed who the 3 votes were, but let's say that it was Maria, Tommy, and Jesse. Someone like Jesse, who, you know, he wants to do things the right way. Maybe he is on the fence about it. He wants to support Ellie. But if Ellie didn't come up with a good enough reason, if she was just being angry and just screaming about it or whatever, then maybe Jesse couldn't even bring himself to vote for her cause because it wouldn't feel like it's the right thing to do, you know? But because she was able to organize her thoughts well in front of the crowd and stuff, then he goes, well, I'm comfortable now voting for her because like it's a good, like it's a solid decision, you know? He won't feel guilty for voting for her then. But most of the other people, I think, had already decided, like, yeah, no, we're not doing this. We're not going to do it. So, like, they're not going to listen to, especially Ellie. But my favorite part was the Seth part. I think it's really interesting because, like, and it feels perfect, like, specifically for me. And the reason that is because I am simultaneously someone who I will constantly, in these videos and in my life, talk about the idea of redemption and about human nature and the changing of human behavior and stuff. I'm someone who really believes that people can change, and I tend to give people the benefit of the doubt so much in my life. Like that's, and I admittedly do it too much with people a lot of the time, but I think I try to see the best in people, and I also, when someone does something wrong, I am actively looking for them to change. And I mean, part of that is because I know that like I haven't always been awesome in my life. I'm still not awesome. I think like I try to be a good person at every point that I can do, but like there's still things wrong with me. There's still things that I do, and then later I'm like, I shouldn't have done that. That wasn't a very good thing, right? But like when I look back to myself in primary school, in high school and stuff, I constantly think of like these things in my life that I was like, wow, I was shitty at certain points, you know? Like I was never, I don't think I've ever been like, sort of, what's the word? Like, hostile or anything. I don't think I've ever been like actively shitty. But I think I've been passively shitty a decent amount of my life, and I hate that. I hate when I have been like that. And it generally comes from me either like not being mature enough for a situation, or me like, you know, being angry about something and sort of like, you know, passive aggressively taking it out on people or something, you know, like there's a bunch of moments like that I think of and I go like, well, that's awful, you know? And then I, you know, have tried to change from that, but think there are people in my life that I think about and I go, I think that person probably hates me. That person probably like will think back on me and go, that person was a bad person. That person was awful, right? And I hate that feeling. I hate that I know that those people are there, and there's not much I can do about it. But I do like to think that if we met now with a fresh start, we would be great. You know, we would be very close. So yeah, I and look, it's just a thing of maturity sometimes. Now, I'm obviously talking about like myself when I was a teen compared to now. Like that's, you know, that there's a difference there than someone who is like Seth, who is a lot older. But you know, this is all to say, like, I'm just a big believer that people can change their behavior and actually feel remorse for stuff, and the society as a whole can be resistant to that a lot of the time. The idea that someone could do something wrong but also, you know, be a good person after that, or that they could change their behavior, or that whatever, right? And like, so people tend to be very, very resistant to it, where like if that person is to in the future apologize, people are going to be like Ellie when Seth's apologizing in the previous episode, where it's like where Ellie is just like not giving him anything and is like basically in her head is like, he's dead to me forever. Like, this is just this man is nothing to me from now on, right? And I get that. I understand. But I also think like people are very, very much like that, where they put their walls up and then they're going to look for every little flaw in what he said, even though his apology was a pretty good one last episode, right? He said like he did the things that apologies should have, which is like an acknowledgement of the crime, like a true remorse for the situation and a commitment to change. He did all of those things, I'm pretty sure. And like he even said, like, I shouldn't have said it, I shouldn't have even thought it. Like, I think that's a good thing to say, where it's like he didn't throw that part off of it. Where he didn't just go like, well, I shouldn't have said it out loud or whatever. He said like, I shouldn't have said it and I shouldn't have even thought it. Like, I was wrong down to my very core. And I wasn't going to talk about that in the last episode's discussion, especially since there was other shit going on. But I wasn't going to talk about that in the last episode's discussion until I saw this episode, where, like, we see, you know, he's really trying to, like, build that bridge between them and help them out. Now, obviously, he's not just doing this out of guilt for that situation. But hang on, I'm on a tangent of a tangent. Let me go back to what I originally said, which is I feel like this was built for me. So the reason one was because I am a person who cares about change and changing people. Reason two is because like one of my subjects, excuse me, I'm hiccuping. Ugh. One of the subjects that is sort of closest to my heart is like protection of LGBT people, because I like a lot of my close friends in many aspects of my life are part of the LGBT community, right? And so like I just sort of for many years that is what I feel. And especially like when you see so much, you know, political talk about you know, the rights of people in the LGBT community and how dismissive people are of that stuff, and how uninformed other people are, even especially like people who even aren't homophobic or anything, but will still like just not understand that it's like there's still a lot of issues out there for LGBT people. I'm not part of the community myself. I'm a straight white cis man, so like I can't speak on issues that I've had. I can only speak on issues that many of my friends have had. Like I feel like I have more friends in the LGBT community than I have friends who are not part of it, you know? So, like, so I see it constantly, everywhere, you know? And it sucks. So the reason I'm saying it was made for me is because you're basically putting, like, the type of person that I'm really disgusted by almost the most in media, which is like the homophobic person, and you're putting that up against my ideals of like, this is like, can people change their behavior and grow from something, right? And so you're putting those up back to back against each other, and that's why I really like his character, because I find it really interesting, like, playing with that idea of me going like, look, I hate what he did. I hate that he, you know, called them a slur and was sort of resentful and hateful towards them because it was two women kissing at his party or whatever. And like the whole like, oh, it's a family event and you're in a church, and like that, all of that stuff is like so awful, just such awful things to say to people, especially like it was a really special moment for them, those two kissing, and to like ruin that moment with your like hateful bigotry and stuff is awful. So for me to hate his action that much and yet still in this episode be like, fuck yeah, Seth, you know, like I really like that. I find that great. And I just loved his speech. The actor's doing a great job. I loved his speech to everyone. Like, it was kind of childish. Like, I kind of like that you can still see Seth there. It's not like he's a saint. You can still see he was still, like, a very angry man and, you know, had this toxicity to him. But it was now being, like, channeled in the direction in support of what Ellie wants to do. So it made, you know, it felt better. And yeah, I just like how they were like, it's not your turn to speak, and he's like, no, like that was so childish, but at the same time it was like, he was like, no, this is really, really important to me, like, just fucking shut up and listen to me. But I don't know, I just thought it was a very strong scene. It was a really, really interesting thing to watch. I liked that a lot. At the start of the episode, the bit where Bella Ramsey wakes up, and then she realizes that realizes everything that happened, and she just screams, and we're just watching her scream. That was really haunting. Like, that, I can see her expression in my mind right now. Like, that was really, really well done. Like, the reason I said Bella Ramsey there and not Ellie is because I want to like put respect on the fact that was like Bella Ramsey doing some really good acting. And then like later when she's with Joel's jacket and she's like leaning into that and you just see the tears streaming down her face, like that's really, really good stuff. Something really like that I really liked in this episode. I'm glad I take notes, man, because I completely forgot I wanted to talk about this. But you know, that's why I take notes. They said in this episode, Ellie came up to Tommy and said like, hey, if it was Joel, he would be halfway across the country by now. And that's a conversation. That's something that is said in the game, but I don't think what's said in the game is what Tommy says in response to that, which is like, if it was to save my life, yes, he would be, but that's not what's happening here. And I'm really interested in that, because he's saying, yes, if it was like Joel has been taken by the WLF and he's like currently, you know, he's been kidnapped and he's with them, then yes, this would be a much easier decision. I think most people would be on board with it, or at least, you know, you would win the council meeting there easily, right? I feel like you'd have most people going like, well, yeah, we need the resources to go get Joel back, for sure. But he's saying that's not what's happening here, and like he's saying Joel wouldn't have done that, you know, he wouldn't have sacrificed resources and possibly people and stuff for that. Now, is that true? I don't know, and I think you can really debate it. I don't think there's a right answer for that, because Joel now as a character is dead. We will never get the response to that. Like we can't know. Even if Neil Druckmann came out and said this is, Neil Druckmann created this character. Even if he came out and said this is what Joel would have done or this is what Joel wouldn't have done, we can't say because of, the idea of death of the author, right? The only way we could have known is if Joel was still alive and we saw him in that position. But now he's dead, so it's never going to happen. And so I find that really interesting that they brought that up because, like, in my thoughts, and I think, the thing is, like, as I said, the first part of that conversation was in the game and the second part wasn't. It makes me think maybe Neil Druckmann has thought more about it since writing the game and has thought, like, would Joel do that? I don't know, and so he adds that line in to really have Tommy, who really knew Joel, question that. Now, I don't think the show is saying that Joel wouldn't have. I think it's just making us think, like, would he have? And Ellie is just doing justifications, which I also want to talk about that in a second. But I think, in my opinion, from my perspective of Joel, old Joel, as in the Joel from The Last of Us Part 1, so by old Joel, I mean, like, previous Joel. Joel years ago. Maybe would have. Or maybe Joel pre-meeting Ellie. Joel, smuggler Joel. I think he maybe would have. Like, if he was pissed off enough, he would have gone after whoever, Like, if he found out somehow, he found the soldier responsible for killing Sarah. Let's pretend he wasn't dead, right? Found him, and then, like, went, like, across, found he was living across the country or whatever, right? Maybe he would have gone after him. Post Last of Us Part 1 Joel, Last of Us Part 2 Joel, the Joel that's in therapy, I don't think he would have. But it's hard to know because, I mean, we're thinking about, like, okay, in this scenario, Last of Us Part 2 Joel, instead Abby kills Ellie and then Abby goes away. So would Joel... it's really hard to tell. It's really, really hard to tell. I think what Tommy said in that scene is close to what I think as well, which is, he said it was something about he would just be quiet and blame himself or something along those lines. It was like, it wasn't quite he'll go after them, but yeah, here it is. I found it. So if it had been you, Joel would be halfway to Seattle before the sun came up. He'd be halfway to Seattle to save my life. I'm reading out the subtitles for you. But when we lost people, no. It would just break him like it was his fault. That's the line that Tommy says. It would just break him like it was his fault. I saw that time and time again. So I think that is very possible. But it's hard to know with Joel. Sometimes Joel reverts into, like, really emotional behavior, and then sometimes it molds into anger. And I think what's scary is you're not sure which way he's gonna go. Like, in the last episode when Abby's talking to him and doing that speech, there was that point where I like analyzed Joel's expressions while she was talking, because I was saying that I feel like it started with understanding. Like, she was listening to him and going like, yeah, I deserve this, you're right. And then by the end of it, it went to anger. Like, you know what? No, fuck you for this. And I talked about why I thought that was, but that's the thing with Joel. Like, he's such an emotional man, and then it turns into anger. So it just depends if, like, I feel like Joel would have had the instant anger. If he had a chance to kill Abby immediately, he would have, right? If he had the chance to, like, grab the horses and just fucking go, he would have gone. But if he had time to think about it, he went back to the town. He had several, this is months later. He had 3 months off. I think he would just be blaming himself. I feel like, and this is really sad to think about, but I feel like he'd just take his own life, honestly. Like, I don't know if he would go on the huge quest at this point in his life. So it's really interesting to think about, though, because I think you know, I think no one has the answer to this question, but I think it's interesting to discuss regardless. And yeah, I also like how they talked about Ellie. I think it was Tommy and Gail were talking about Ellie, right? And saying that like she's going down the path that Joel was, which is like justifying everything. One of my favorite things that you can have flawed characters do is like they come up with these justifications for everything, right? They do something they want to do, but then they try to convince themselves that they're doing the right thing by coming up with all these justifications. And two incredible characters, two incredible, complex, you know, morally ambiguous / evil characters. I wouldn't say evil, but especially, well, maybe evil for the second example I'm going to give, but in Joel and Walter White from Breaking Bad, right? Those two characters to me are the same sort of brand of, these are really interesting characters who we understand them because there's a heart there that we relate to, that we want, that we agree with. There's something there that is like, that's really interesting to watch and really engaging. But when they're caught in a corner, when they're caught in a lie, they can come up with all the justifications in the world. It's one of my favorite things to watch in Breaking Bad is like every time Walt is caught in a lie and you see him like gaslighting people throughout the scenes, and it's really, really entertaining to watch, is like watching him like be like, what are you talking about? This is crazy. Like he's like, I was over there. No, oh, you see, I see what happened. I know exactly what happened now. This is a misunderstanding. Like he'll justify everything to himself and to others, so much so that he's convincing himself as he's speaking. And I love that stuff. And Joel does the same thing, where he's just like, I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah. I guess, you know, like it's in the, I don't remember how, I think the scene happens in the show as well, but in the thing where like, Joel is trying to ditch Ellie off on Tommy, right? Trying to let Tommy take her. And there's the start of that scene where she's like, admit you wanted to get rid of me from the beginning. And he goes like, Tommy knows this area better than myself. Like he's immediately like coming up with these ideas, and that's why she's like, Ellie immediately goes like, oh fuck that, because like she sees when you're with these people for long enough, when you know them well enough, you can see when they're coming up with the lie. You know exactly like the ways they come up with the lies. And I think it's why also in Breaking Bad, like Skylar never believes Walter's bullshit, because she knows him so well, and she can see him coming up with those lies. She can see all of that happening. It's so good. I find it so interesting, and it's one of my favorite types of like character details that you can throw in there. And when the actors can pull that off, Pedro Pascal, Troy Baker, Bryan Cranston, like these actors are so talented. They can pull off that so well. I love it. Anyway, great episode. I had a great time there. That was Last of Us Season 2, Episode 3. Thank you for joining me. Make sure to support this video if you can, liking, commenting, and subscribing, and go to my Patreon account for full-length early access and exclusive videos. I will see you next time. Goodbye.